Hey guys, it's Handling here. Time for Friday Talk. Well, I'm 2 days late with this conversation, but I figured it was better late than never. I wanted to talk to you guys about 9/11. So, to give you guys some background, I lived in Georgia for 9/11 and I was teaching, and I was teaching freshmen, and what I remember is that I went to the bathroom between classes and a teacher said, a plane flew into the Pentagon. And I was really confused. I had no idea what was going on. And so I went back to my room and I turned on my TV that was on one of the big rolling carts. And sure enough, there was a plane had hit the two towers, a plane had hit the Pentagon. We had no idea what was going on. And so we watched. We watched the news. We watched them locate Air Force One to see where the president was. We watched to see the towers fall. We watched people jumping from the towers. We watched the news about the plane coming down in Pennsylvania, and it was terrifying. Mike was active duty on base, and we were right off base, and I couldn't get in touch with him. I kept trying to call him and call him and call him, and nothing. And so when I went home from school that day, I watched the news alone because I lived with only Mike, and just cried. And you just watched, and you saw New York City, the most diverse city in the country, and it was all one color. Everything was all the same shade of gray. There was just dust everywhere. Anyway, it was really, really devastating. But what I do remember is that what followed was a couple of years of seeing my country be more united than it's ever been. And there were flags everywhere. And there was patriotic music everywhere. And yeah, there were some ugly, nasty sides to this. But it was a time when people really joined together for the same cause, and that was to be safe and to say, this is not okay. You're not going to come onto our soil and attack us. And it stayed like that, and then we went to war, and Mike went to Iraq, and I watched the news again every day, all night, all morning, all day. I mean, it was just horrible. And then he came home, and I was very lucky because a lot of people lost loved ones going over there. And even then, the country rallied. The country was really supportive of the troops and the families of the troops and all that was going on. And it wasn't about the politics. It was about, let's support the people who are fighting for us. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know when the divide happened, but now we're in a time when, in my opinion, the country is more divided than it has ever historically been. And I think social media has a lot to do with that. And I think that just it's turned into a time when everyone's focusing on how they can be an individual and forgetting that there is no I in team. And any of you who play sports knows that you can't have a team full of individuals. It doesn't work. You have to have people working together for a common cause. And so how do I tie that into a Friday Talk? Well, I also tied it into, we're reading Gatsby right now. And Gatsby was always looking at the green light as a symbol of hope and his goal for reaching Daisy. And so I think it would be really nice if we as a country, we as a community, we as a school could rally together and find our green light this weekend and continue on. And it doesn't have to start huge, it starts small. If we just start looking at what we have in common as opposed to identifying what we don't have in common, what makes us, what are our differences. I think we need to refocus and say, you know what, I love you for all of you, and I accept that. And rather than constantly fighting about all of our differences, why not join together and love our commonalities? So my challenge to you is that to start your green light this weekend and just go up and reach out for a common goal of finding peace and harmony again in our worlds, in our lives, in our country, in our community, in our school, in our homes, everywhere. Go out, find someone, say, I love you, you're beautiful, and I applaud you. And just be the best influence on others. And just work together to find some kind of unity once again. That's really it. I really want people to find happiness again in our world. So that is the talk today, and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. Bye.